Welcome back to Retire Too Soon. I need to print some custom parts so I can hopefully put this back to a dually. So while we wait for more parts to come in the mail, let's take off these front tires and move it to the rear. Then I have other tires coming in the mail. They're the same tread, but they're made by a different company, and they're, I believe, 2 millimeters wider. So I'm going to move these to the back so they're the same, and then I'll put the wider ones up front. The goal is to keep this one on the outside, and then I'm going to use these rims to put on the inside. Back to a dually. As you can see, it fits in the 12mm hex. And if you look, you can see daylight straight through it. So that should keep it centered and hopefully it doesn't wobble. Also extends it past the tire. The plastic rims have holes. I'm going to use this E6000 and plug them up. I don't want water or dirt or anything getting inside the tire. So I got the front tires off. I got glue on the holes on both sides. Waited 24 hours. There's no leak or anything. I might have to stop by my local hobby shop and see if I get a different offset. So right now, it has a better offset than the rims I currently have on it. If you add the second tire, it's going to stick completely out. So if I can get a different offset for the tire to push it in just a little bit more before it hits the shocks, then maybe only 3/4 of the tire will be sticking out versus the whole tire plus some. So I think I found the right final line so it can give me the right offset to fit the hub. One thing nice about having your own 3D printer, make your own parts. So wow, that only took 28 minutes. What took me longer to go to the RC shop and back. So I gotta wait for it to cool and I'll take it off the plate and see how it looks. So if you want to compare the two, you can see how big the offset's gonna be. So hopefully now it's not too much of an offset that it hits the shocks. Otherwise I gotta do another print. Let's see if I can get a little bit longer. So I got some parts in the mail. Here's the front tires, and here is the M4x12mm+6mm. So extended out to be a dually. Let's see if it works. So I got the new hub on it. It is very tight on the hex, and I did have to drill out the holes to thread it. Alright boys and girls, looks like it gives me plenty of room, so that's good. And it also gives me some threads. So hopefully I can keep using the stock nut, and then I can use what I just got in the mail to extend it out, plus my 3D prints. So each one of these is 12 millimeters. So that's 36 millimeters right there, plus the 6 millimeter of thread, and the back here are threaded. Alright, so you put your 3 on there, tying it down, then you get the hex, so this slides on. So you take your tire, nice and tight, then you put a nut right there, tying it down, and it's back to a dually. So that should work. So being a little creative with the hammer, got it on. Now I just need to put the other tire on and tying it down. I like how it sucked in a lot more. Before, the other tire was about 1/8 of an inch past the fender, and then plus the whole tire. Now it's just the tire sticking out. That's a lot better, not as wide. The only big downside of doing it this way is potentially the outside tire can turn to come off. So if I start twisting it without this tire moving, then this will start unthreading. So we'll see if that becomes a problem. If I have to, I'll put some Loctite on it or come up with a different method. So I went over to Lowe's. I ended up getting some nut washer and lock washer. And I'm going to try a different way so it doesn't fall off. So I figured I would put it in this order. I'll go washer, nut, lock washer, washer, and then this part that I 3D printed. Alright, got the washer, lock washer, nut. So let you know, the smaller side of the T, you can use this to tighten it down. So now that's nice and secure, I can put on the tire. I think either way is still going to come undone if the tire rotates. But one thing I just now noticed, the threads on here are not long enough to go into the lock. I just put a locking washer and a nut on the side. I got the new wider front tires on, pretty similar to the back. Now it's in beast mode. Now it's time to take it out and see how it looks. No! Well guys, that didn't last very long. I guess I'm gonna have to do it a different way. Well, I was lucky enough to find the locking washer and washer in the snow. So let me see if I can 3D print another part. Maybe I can get it to stay on. So here's the new design. I used the same hub that I used to change the offset. I attached it to the 12mm hex, put the metal through it. I removed the hole that I originally designed. I feel that creates a weak spot. And then what you do is still screw it on. Don't need to put any lock washers or anything. Then I need to get about 3 long bolts that can go from the front all the way to the back. So it'll be screwed on, and then it won't be able to twist off because it will have 3 bolts holding it still. And this should be very strong now. Let's get it together and see what it looks like. I picked these up at the hardware store. I had to drill it out to 1/16, and they're about 3/4 inch long, or about 20 millimeters. I drilled out 3 of them, and I replaced 3 of the bolts. There we go, got it installed. I am a lot more confident now in this setup than the other way. So this way is definitely the way to go. Well, boys and girls, we're back in business. Now it's time to take it out and have some fun with it. I don't think this changed, but I'm just going to give you guys another view of it. Alright, boys and girls, we got some fresh snow coming down. So this should be a good test. Alright, well, we gotta go get it now. Let's try it again. I guess that's why we need to get some diff locks. Alright, well, it looks like it held up. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think. Until the next video, thanks for watching. Bye!